Well, I'll just make a few points about that. Over the same period, I think between the 7th of October and a couple of days ago, we had 1,793 visas issued to Israeli citizens. So obviously there is a lot of demand from those in the region for Australian visas for people who are eligible. I would again say this. People who obtain visas to Australia are subject to appropriate security checks.
Would you like to see an ongoing ceasefire?
Look, I think we would all want to see a sustainable ceasefire, but we also know that cannot be one-sided. We recognise that the steps that have been taken today with this agreement that has been negotiated is progress towards these goals. But I want to say this. We remain deeply concerned about the loss of civilian life. And I know so many Australians are deeply concerned about the loss of civilian life. People are distressed about the horrific attack by Hamas. People want the hostages released, and people are distressed by the loss of civilian life in the period we have seen in these last weeks.
These 800 visas for Palestinians, when did they start to be issued?
This is over the period 7th of October to the 20th of November. As I said, same period we had a substantial number of applications which were granted also from Israeli citizens.
And can you rule out any connections to Hamas?
Well, again, I'd go back to this. People who obtain Australian visas are subject to appropriate security checks. And these people have been subjected to the same security checks by Australian Border Force and authorities, as you would expect any visa applicant would be required to meet.
Get reflections on a pro-Palestinian protest in Port Botany overnight involving demonstration against an Israeli cargo ship.
Well, there've been, I would say to Australians, I understand people are distressed, but it's very important we don't allow distress to turn to anger and hatred, and that we work to ensure our country is not divided by this conflict. Australians have a right to be safe, Australians have a right to feel safe, and no one in this country should be fearful because of who they are or because of their faith. There is no place for racism, there is no place for anti-Semitism, there is no place for Islamophobia, there is no place for hateful prejudice in our country. We do believe in a right to peaceful protest, But I also want to make this point. There's a lot of misinformation on social media in relation to the provision of weapons. I again say what the Deputy Prime Minister has said. Australia has not supplied weapons to Israel since the start of the Hamas-Israeli conflict. And people, when reading some of the information on social media, should remember that the Minister for Defence and the Deputy Prime Minister has made that clear.